Hello Namibia and welcome to Green Horizons, a new frontier. It's the same program, but we've got some exciting new segments in our program. We're going to have a focal point and then also a DIY section. Let's kickstart this program with Animal Husbandary as our focal point and, wait for it, auctions. Yes, we are going to have all the do's and the don'ts for you, so let's start this year off with a bang with this insert.
Cattle farming in Namibia is a widely practiced trade and can indeed be profitable. In this episode of Green Horizons, we will look at one particular aspect of cattle farming, auctions, because after all, the aim of any breeder or farmer would be to make money at the auction pens. Today, our team is at the Namibia Genetics Auction in Windhoek, where a group of commercial farmers have come together to sell off some of their offspring. Altogether, 15 farmers are selling their stuff here. So if you find yourself wanting to buy a bull or a cow, normally you have to arrive a day in advance and see the animals. This gives you an indication as to what's on offer. You have to know what to look for, so here are some basic traits presented by Agri-Stud Services personnel, Kip Lepin.
The bull must look like a bull according to Le Pen. The testicles should be well developed and the sheath should be short. If you buy a bull with a long sheath, you could find your investment looking like this bull after a few years. An in-depth look at what's acceptable and not will feature later in the program during our expert segment. The bull should be beautiful to the eye as well as looking at its breeding values. These are data that the owner will gladly break down for you. This will also tell you if the bull will have healthy calves or not, and whether its offsprings will blossom fast or slow. The bull must certainly have capacity. It cannot be lean because most breeds produce beef and capacity is a must. It must be wide in front and wide in the hind legs. Legs are important because it what provides the mobility for the bull to get pastures and among the herd. The coat should be short and shiny, as is the case with this bull.
On the day of the auction, clear your schedule, come in early and speak to the owners of the animals. Also have a budget and do not go overboard. At an auction like this, the highest bidder walks away with a prized possession. You also have to register normally with a bank guaranteed check or cash, which is refundable in full if you do not buy any animals. Here are some tips you should take to heart before the auction starts. Watch the bidding first before making your own bid. Some seasoned buyers use hand signals rather than their signs to bid. It can be hard to spot them at first. You may not want to bid up against them. Don't be the first bidder. Let someone else start. Take your time. Never wave or stand up to greet someone. You may accidentally find yourself buying an animal you did not intend to buy. Also remember, the auctioneer starts with a high price and walks his way down till he gets a willing buyer. Then starts going up and the biddings come in. Remember these tips and keep an eye on them as we go through this auction.
Lot 29 Germany so coming out, ladies and gentlemen, Rupa Sabras from Hardes Alsibreed. Ladies and gentlemen, hier staan 'n nuwe see. Jy moet 'n nuwe see, jy moet wakker wees. Hier staan 'n bal met kapasiteit, baie goed aan so. Right, ladies and gentlemen, dames en heren, dames, kom ons kyk op die onder die andere net te kyk vir. Right, gentlemen, maar nou maar dit is aan my op nou, gentlemen, ons kom kyk op die andere vlees, kyk hoe lank dit is. Kyk uit hoe bly. Wat about 15,000, gentlemen, 15,000, gentlemen, 50, what about number 40,000, get number 40,000 now. A 40,000, 40,000, gentlemen, moet weg daar. A 40,000, ja, 30,000. Nou, maar dat kan nou, 30,000, nou, 30, nou, 30,000, nou, 30 now. Ek weet jy het nou 30 nou, 30,000. Ek weet dan jy het 30 nou, 30 nou, 35, ach, daar daar voor in die middel. 40 number 2. Ek 42 number 42 en 42 number 45 in die middel nou. 48 boer. Ek 48 graag op 48 graag op 48 nou. Ach, 50 nou so. Ek het 50 nou 52. Ek 52 by jou nou so. Ek 52 number 52 number 52 by jou front. Ek 52 number 52 boer. Ek 52 en 52 number 52 52,000. Ek 52 nou nader 55 keer maar ek 55 nou 58 pas op vir die nader 58,000 nou 58,000 58,000 pas op vir die nader 58,000 nader 60 now ek 60 maar 60,000 60 nader 60,000 62 62,000 and 62 no 62,000 or 62,5 62 now. Ek het hier 60,000 na 65. At 65, 68, 68, but I got 77. About 68, I got 68,000 now. 68,000, shaking his head now. At 68,000 after 60,000, I got a 68 call. Or at 68,000, get about your down. After $60,000, get about your down.
At the end of the day, Isaac Nahum from Hochveld made the biggest buy, with Ibn Stein smiling, a whopping 82,000 Namibian dollars, bred by seasoned Simmentaler breeder Rene Kraft. You would see that the bull has a great constitution, a wonderful top line. Look at the middle section, which is just packed with meat. Let's hear from Nahum.
I really like the EBV's estimated breeding value of the bull. I've also got white Brahman, and I'm trying to convert them to Simbras. And the Simmentaler is good to convert them to Simbras. I like the frame. You can see it's a big frame. And I spoke to the owner just before I bought it, and he told me about the history of the bull, and the history is what intrigued me to buy the bull. I don't really have a breeding season. I keep my cows with the bull until they have mated, and then I take them out to go rest at the house. I'm very happy with this bull.
I really hope you enjoyed that exciting section about the auctions. It can be really exciting. One of the things we want to do in this new season is have a DIY section. How to fix a wire, if you're adventurous, even how to do some welding. But since we are focusing on animal husbandry, let's teach you how to do a protein block. Yes, go and get your piece of paper and write down this important formula, because if you want to have cattle looking like this, you need this formula.
In today's Do-It-Yourself segment, we will show you how to create a protein block for ruminants, which is popular among small and large livestock. What you will need is a clean space, preferably concrete, where you will put together your mix.
Protein block is mostly a protein-based block. It's the same as this product, but it's only in a rock form or a block form. Some farmers prefer to give blocks because they last longer. And especially for farmers who cannot afford the 50 kg bags here, who prefer to use blocks here. And blocks are quite suitable for small stocks also.
You will also need a 50 kg of coarse salt, bush improver leek, footer force, molasses syrup, limestone, and water. To keep it simple, we will create a small block here, and you can follow the measurements to increase your mix if you desire to do so. Oh, before we forget, please bring out a spade. Measure 25 kg of salt, pour it on the floor and make a hole in the middle. Then add 4 kg of bush improver leek and 4 kg of footer force. The last thing you will need to add is 2 kg of lime. Lime is very important because it acts as a binding component when you finally get to mix everything together. Now you make another hole in the middle of your mix and add 3 liters of molasses syrup and mix some more. At this point in time, the mix will look damp. This is where the water comes in handy. 2 liters of water will be sufficient as you continually mix it and make sure that the particles are well put together. Your mix is ultimately done now, but you still have to leave it to dry for 7 days before feeding it to your animals. The block is designed for cattle breeding heads. It is adaptable in areas where forage is adequate yet mature. Using block is a popular way of supplying protein to cattle. Protein block are easy to use and entails plentiful supplies.
Welcome back to Green Horizons. I hope you could write down all those notes on the protein blocks, because that is exactly what these animals are busy utilizing at the moment. After the break though, we will be showing you two beauties. Are you confused? Don't worry, stay tuned and we'll show you exactly what two beauties look like. Welcome to Green Horizons, a new frontier. Before the break, we showed you an auction. We showed you how to make a protein block, but now it's time for the expert section. If you were the farmer, would you choose this bull or would you choose this bull? Let's go to the expert.
In our expert advice segment, we look at two Charolais bulls. We'll also be hearing from the champions of champion breeder Marco Seerveld.
With this bull, we've got a few points which are not ideal, which we want in the breeding of Charolais. If you look at the testers hanging below the hocks, that is too much. We don't want that. The ideal would be above the hock, so over the joint.
But why is it undesirable for the testes to hang below the hocks?
If you look at him like this, if he moves, he always throws the testes around with his legs while walking, which is very sore, which is also a disadvantage is if they are that long, the testes get hung up in bushes, which will result in injury, and that we don't want. Because a bull is there to work and he has to earn money for you, so an injured bull will be out of your herd and he will not make money for you. If you look at the sheet, in Taurus breeds, not like the Brahman, which is the Indicus, we also look at the sheet. This is getting too long. We don't want that in the breeding in Charolais as well. We like a short sheet which is close to the stomach lining. So this bull bred good, but these are points we don't want. Otherwise the bull is okay. He's got a strong head, he's got a nice top line, he's full in the back, the hindquarter is full. So it's a good bull, but these are some points which we don't want in breeding anymore. Especially if we have enough to select, we can select for stronger bulls.
Bull A has two undesirables: testes that hang below the hocks and a sheath that is too long. However, it has a great top line, full in the hindquarters, and a good masculine head. That was Bull A. Now let's move to Bull B and hear what makes it more desirable compared to Bull A.
The bull that we bred ourselves, this is a calf of him. They were both horned and we were very lucky to get this once-off genetic polled calf out of these two animals. So at the moment, I think he's the only polled bull in Namibia which is producing offspring. We have a few offspring already which look promising, and we're very excited to the future to see what the future brings with his offspring. The Charolais is a beef breed, so when you breed Charolais you must always keep an eye that you want beef. That's why we breed them. They're easy fleshing, They produce heavy weaners, heavy weaner calves, which is a good market in the moment because the weaner prices are in the highs. And a lot of people switched from oxen production to weaner production because they fetch good prices on auctions, and South Africa needs a lot of calves. So this bull, as you can see, very full hindquarter, very strong top line. If you look at the forearm, good muscling on the forearm. If you look at his bone structure, it's not too rough. That's where we struggled a lot. In former years, Charolais were very big and very rough animals. We got it right to get them on a bit smaller frame, but still carrying enough beef. Strong top line. This is where your expensive cuts lie in beef production. If you look at the back loin, the hindquarter, then we want a lot of width in the backside of the animal, right through to the front. We don't want it tapered to the front. So if you have a bull, you want it full straight through, so you have good beef in the back and also in the forequarter. Good testes, very good sheath on him for a bull that's 5 years old now. So these are all positive points on him. The next good thing on him is that he's polled, which reduces labor in working the calves a lot.
But Bull B weighs about 900 kilograms. Is that not too much when mating?
Cows get pregnant by him because he will not put 900 kilos on the cow because he is carrying most of the weight on his hind legs. So that's why in every bull you need strong hind legs and strong hocks here, because that's your shock absorber.
Despite all these great features, surely there must be one thing that the bull could have to make it the complete bull. Well, CFL points it out expertly. Please take note.
As the bull is standing now, there's actually no bad feature on him. The one thing that he could have had is a bit straighter top line to go into the neck.
So that small dip in the top line highlighted here by the color blue is the one thing that the bull could have had. In a nutshell, Bull B has a very full hind quarter, good top line, good forearms, good bone structure, not too rough, polled, meaning no horns, and the only undesirable is a top line that could have been more straight. That's it from our expert corner, all thanks to Marco Seerveld from Silver Sand Farming.
I really hope you feel less confused about buying a bull, because now you will know what to look for, because beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. To see what's in store, let's go to our diary section. It's nearly time to say goodbye, but let's test your knowledge. Do you know what this part of the cow is called? Have you got the answer to that question? SMS your answer to the number 62229. That's correct, 62229, and we will announce the winner in our next episode. That's all for us from this episode of Green Horizons. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to our next episode. Until then, from Andries Maton and the entire crew, goodbye.